Hello, welcome back. This week I was working on this watercolor painting inspired by Andrew Nelson Art here on YouTube, where I was painting the negative space and building up the negative spaces and making this kind of cool looking goldfish art based off of her video where she made leaves with autumn colors. I want to make sure that it's focusing on my drawing. There we go. So what have you been up to this week? What sort of art did you make? This art was a challenge for me. I've never done this before. Building up the layers of colors so much. And I was using a heat tool to dry it, dry the watercolor. And it kind of worked cool. I think I like it. I'm going to definitely try some other patterns and play with the work. I tried, as you can see in these spaces here, I tried doing the trick with salt to get sort of more of a water texture. I was going for like maybe some bubbles or something in the water, but I definitely have to practice that more. I'm not getting it right. I'm not sure if I'm not using, is it the wrong type of salt, or I'm not sure what. Maybe you can give me some pointers. What do you think? Give me a little frowny fish. Have you ever used salt with watercolors before to create that sort of texture of water in it? And if so, what worked for you? Look at these guys. I drew them a little too close together. I'm still practicing my placement to try to make, I wanted it to look like, you know, like when you see a bunch of goldfish in a tank, they're all like swimming all over the place and every which way, and that's what I was kind of going for with this. I originally did sort of a purplish color in the background, but I didn't really like how that was working out. It looked a little too red with the oranges, so I toned it down with some blue to get it a little cooler. Get the feeling of water in there a little bit more. And I think that helped a lot. I also used a little bit of dark brown. I think it was a sienna. I don't remember on the set of colors that I was using to try to get an even darker shadow in spots. I think that helped. Gave it a little bit more depth. And you can see the texture of the watercolor paper. The micron is struggling with it. But I think it's kind of coming out cool. I was going to maybe leave it plain, but I think I like putting these little details in their faces. I think that's making it more interesting. Sometimes with art, I quit too soon. I get frustrated and I give up on the piece, and then it never really comes out the way I would have liked it to. It takes guts to do art and take that chance. And, you know, for the longest time I would do art in my my sketchbooks and never really show people what I was creating. And you have to remember, the sketchbook is where you're practicing your art. So sketchbooks aren't meant to be the perfect finished piece. The key is to keep trying, keep going. Things aren't always perfect in your first try, but sometimes it needs just a little bit more. Maybe it needs a little glitter on it or something, but keep adding to it and adding to it, and sometimes it doesn't work, but look how cool this came out this time. I'm actually kind of proud of this. This came out better than I expected. The satisfying reveal of pulling back the masking tape to make the nice crisp edges. The layers of paint. There's a lot more layers than I normally work with, and I like it because now I have a lot more contrast on it. I like how the colors are showing up through the phone lens. I can see it's picking up the colors nicely, making it look really cool. I want to do more watercolors. I just sometimes I get like I don't know what inspiration I have. Like, what do I want to make? And then that's what's nice about YouTube, right? Like, look and see what some other people are doing and let their work inspire you. Right? I took Andrea Nelson's leaves and the still picture of fish that she showed that she did, the finished version in her sketchbook, and I thought, ooh, I'm gonna combine that and make the goldfish layers. Something about goldfish, I don't know, I think goldfish and betta fish are some of my favorites. I just love how their fins move about in the water. It's very relaxing. This is coming out pretty good. Look how nice and crisp this edge looks. I've struggled with masking tape in the past where I get a lot of, like, I didn't tape it down hard enough, and I get a lot of those like yucky spots like that little thing. But that seems to be one of the only ones on this whole thing, so I'm kind of happy. Look how cool this came out. And even though the background texture with the salt, the trick didn't work out the way I wanted it to, or the way I thought it would, it still made kind of a cool texture, which allows the fish to look a little smoother and sleeker. Look how cool this came out. I really like it. I don't even think I would add anything more to this. Maybe a bubble. I don't know. And this is where you get scared. I'm like, do I want to draw a bubble on it? Do I take the risk of drawing a bubble somewhere and seeing how it looks? Does it ruin the picture if I add too much to it? I don't know. It's not like I'm going to try to sell it somewhere. What if not every fish has to bubble. What if I make just a couple bubbles? A couple little fish with bubbles. Maybe it's because I'm a Pisces. I love looking at fish. Okay, now my pen doesn't want to hit there. See, the pen is saying, nope, no more. We're done. We're not drawing on this. The pen has given up. All right, maybe I guess that's a sign when the pen isn't responding to the salty water. All right, this is cool. I'm just gonna put a little signature in the corner. Nice. Let's take a look at it. So how are you leaping into art this week? What sort of things are you doing? I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what sort of art you like, what sort of things you're interested in. Are you interested in learning about color and why I was picking purples and blues to go with the yellows and the oranges here. It was very intentional. I took a class with the illustrator Zoe Pena, who goes by Aqua Spider Art on YouTube and other socials, and learned a lot more. I thought I knew everything, but I learned a lot more. Look at it from the side. Learned a lot more from the class with Zoe. So we're having a class through Zoom. Zoe's going to be here on September 26th. That's like roughly 2 weeks from now. You can sign up through Eventbrite. If you go to my website, theleapingfae.com, you can see the link there in our events and sign up and join us. All right? We'd love to see you there. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next week, taking another leap into art.